talking about how the councils are actually trying to introduce treaties by stealth, specifically in New South Wales, with a friend of the show, Steve Christou, who's running for council. Check it out.
Breakfast on 2GB
2GB.
873.
Well, Cumberland City Council has tried to keep this one quiet. They seem to be on a mission to implement a treaty by stealth. Plans are currently in motion to sign a treaty between 3 Indigenous land councils within the Cumberland local government area. It would acknowledge that the land Cumberland is on was never ceded. It would require consultation with the 3 land councils before any developments are undertaken in future. It's also proposed dual Indigenous names for signs. But there has been very little community consultation, and the Cumberland area voted 64% no in the Voice referendum last year. Steve Christou is the Cumberland City Councillor. He's on the line right now. Good morning to you, Steve.
You get the gist of it, Rami. Well, did you have something to add on this?
I don't know, Mr. Joel, what you read in the entry to the show, but you've said something that triggered TikTok. I just got a message saying access is suspended. Reason: repeated violation of community guidelines.
You're joking. So we just literally, as we've been live, nuked off TikTok.
Correct.
Anyways, on Rumble and X, we are continuing the show with YouTube. This is literally just another day with the Conservatives. Specifically on this topic, the changing of dual signs, that rings a bell. That reminds me of New Zealand. They have dual signs, and people are complaining, look, I'm trying to drive my wife to the hospital. She's in labour, and I don't know where the hospital is on this highway because they've got, the Maori language, and then they've got English often missing, and that he doesn't know how to get there. I mean, what were your reactions to that, guys?
Like I say, these top 3, Aboriginal affairs is high on the list because the Labor government are doing nothing and listening to people with regards to cost of living and all the other crises that the everyday person, including, I'm assuming all of us around here, go through. I'm getting frustrated with it, Joel. I've been frustrated for a long time. The welcome to country, which we'll be talking about later, the flag and the division that's happened in this. Not all Aboriginal people want this sort of stuff,
right?
But it is the left who wants it. And the left, Paul, are from any country, whether they speak like you as an American or whether they're Aboriginal or wherever they're from. It's the left that are causing these divisions.
But the people have already spoken. There was already a no to these proposals.
Yes,
but and nevertheless, it's being pushed through. I mean, I suppose 3 problems with it. One is it's anti-democratic. The people have already spoken on the issue. The issue should be settled. If you're a representative government, you should represent. Another issue is, the underlying principle of reparations. I'm not a fan of intergenerational collective punishment. That's it doesn't make sense. We're responsible for our own actions. So this idea of reparations, I grew up Catholic, and you have the idea of original sin, and it's just one of those things that it never made sense to me. We're responsible. It has a lot of good values in Catholicism, but we're responsible for our own actions. not necessarily the actions of a prehistoric woman who happened to not be able to keep her hands off of citrus. For that, I'm eternally damned. It doesn't make much sense. So this concept of guilt by from actions of other people in previous generations makes no sense.
I think especially in Victoria, the councils there like to be bigger than what they are. They like getting involved in this, what they might call meaty stuff. So they don't worry about the things that they're there, the core things they're there for, like fences, like for local roads, like for rubbish. They want these bigger, more meaty things. And people who join the council in Victoria, many of them tend to be from the left. And they bring this ideology with them. In Victoria now, in some suburbs, there are 4 bins. 4 bins. One for green waste, one for plastics and newspapers, one for glass, and one for general waste. This is the mentality of the left. And to do things like we're talking here with finding a treaty, well, no, let's just fix up our society that we're living in here. And not the sins, as you said, Paul, the past 200 150, 250 years ago.
Our compassion is being weaponized against us over and over and over again.
I was shocked a couple of weeks ago. We had Ben Britton on the show, and he was saying that they're starting to pick up the general waste bin once every 2 weeks now. It's like, what do you mean? Like,
Yeah,
if
yeah.
anything, if we're getting more crammed and we need more often to come. But anyway,
Why Krista is so upset is because they didn't pass it by the council. They passed it through a subcommittee. Through the asset committee, they were about to pass this. And that's why he's flipped his top. Because fairly said, if you're going to start signing treaties with 3 different councils, Gundagarra, Durug, and the Metropolitan Local Laboratory, if you're going to start signing treaties, well, this is kind of a higher level decision. Should it be done by council at all is the question well and truly beyond that. But he's upset because it's just being shoved under some subcommittee and he isn't getting a say. So that's why he should be flipping his lid, even if he did say it.
and they're not stopping, are they? You know, we do have local elections, by the way, before I forget, coming up in New South Wales. They're coming up on September 14th. We will be doing how to vote cards through the Turning Point Australia entity that we run. So you'll be able to put your address in and it'll spit out a how to vote card no matter which of the 130 councils you're in. An impossible task I'll tell you about later. But also in Victoria, local elections on the 26th of October as well, which we'll also be doing, which is the same day as the Queensland state election. So it's a busy time, guys, busy time. But another topic on this Aboriginal, and it just keeps coming, doesn't it? We had the vote.